So in last video we have studied about Plasmodium vivax. Now in detail we will go for structure of the sporozoid. Already you are known what is the sporozoid. Sporozoid, it is nothing but the infective stage of Plasmodium vivax to human beings. Now this sporozoid, it is a sickle shaped in structure. How it is? It is sickle shaped in structure. Now this total sporozoid, it is covered with a thin membrane, and this thin membrane it is called as a pellicle. What we are calling? We are calling it as a pellicle, and inside this there is a presence of number of microtubules. So this red colored structures, they are nothing but the microtubules. So outside there is a presence of thin plasma membrane called as pellicle, and inside there is a presence of microtubules. And because of presence of microtubules and pellicle, so this sporozoid, it is responsible for showing wrinkling type of movement. It is showing wrinkling type of movement. That means when mosquito bites to our body, immediately these sporozoids, they are released in our body or they are released in our blood. Through blood it moves to liver. So when it is moving, it shows the wrinkling movement. Now inside this pellicle, there are presence of number of cell organelles. Main cell organelle, it is nothing but the nucleus. Nucleus always it is present at the center. Then there is a presence of mitochondria. There is a presence of Golgi complex. Keep in mind, sickle shaped structure. At the center, it is somewhat enlarged, but at the tip, it is a pointed one. But at the topmost tip, at the apical tip, there is a presence of cap-like structure, and this cap-like structure, it is called as apical cup. And below the apical cup, there is a presence of secretory organelles. There is a presence of secretory organelles. Now, what is the importance of secretory organelles and apical cup? When this sporozoid, when it enters in the liver, in hepatic cell, it has to enter. For that purpose, apical cup, it makes attachment to the hepatic cells. Secretory organelle, it secretes cytolysing enzyme, that is the enzyme which is responsible for killing or breaking the membrane so that it can easily enter inside the liver cell. So to make entry into liver cell, there is a presence of apical cup and there is a presence of secretory organelle. So this is the simple structure of the sporozoid. Now we will go for complete life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. So sporozoid. Now already we are known Plasmodium vivax. It is a digenetic parasite. That means it requires two hosts. One host, it is nothing but humans, and another host, it is nothing but a mosquito. So life cycle of Plasmodium vivax we are dividing into two parts. That is life cycle of Plasmodium which is occurring in man, and life cycle of Plasmodium which is occurring in mosquito. So Plasmodium's asexual reproduction, it is occurring in man, and Plasmodium's sexual reproduction, it is occurring in mosquito. So a sexual reproduction which is occurring in mosquito, it is called as a Ross cycle, and it is differentiated into number of steps, that is gametogony, fertilization, ookinete and oocyst formation, and sporogony. And already you are known, life cycle of Plasmodium in man, it is occurring with the help of asexual mode, and this process we are calling it as schizogony. We are calling it as schizogony. Now, in man it is an intracellular parasite, and in mosquito it is an extracellular parasite. If it is intracellular parasite, initially it is occurring in a liver. If it is occurring in liver, we are calling it as hepatic schizogony, and if it is occurring in RBC, then it is called as erythrocytic cytoplasm. So in human beings, in man, this plasmodium vivax, initially it acts on hepatic cells, that is liver cells. Later on it is acting on RBC. So if the cycle is going on in RBC, we are calling it as erythrocytic cytoplasm, and if it is occurring in liver cell, it is called as hepatic cytoplasm. In detail, we will study about the cytoplasm which is occurring in liver. So already we are known this Plasmodium vivax, it enters in a human body in the form of sporozoites. In the form of sporozoites. When mosquito bites, sporozoite, it enters into the blood. It enters into the blood. Now keep in mind, when mosquito bites, wherever it is biting, whether it bites on the hand or whether it bites on leg, wherever it bites, this mosquito, it is responsible for releasing nearly 2000 sporozoites in our blood. Now through blood, these sporozoites, they enter into the liver. It enters into the liver. When it enters into the liver, one sporozoid, that means all sporozoids, they are entering into the liver cells. But here I am taking only one cell's example. So this sporozoid, it goes and infected to the liver cell. Infect to the liver cell. And liver cell, we are calling it as hepatic cell. We are calling it as hepatic cell. When this sporozoid enters into the hepatic cell, we are known sporozoid, it is a sickle shaped in structure, but when it enters into the liver cell, it becomes circular. It becomes circular. At this stage, it is called as trophozoite. It is called as trophozoite. So sporozoid, when it enters into the liver cell, it changes its structure, it becomes circular, and this stage it is called as trophozoite. Now this trophozoite, it will absorb the nutrient from the hepatic cell and it increases in size. It increases in size, and this stage it is called as scission stage. It is called as scission stage. Now as it increases in size, it goes for mitotic division. It goes for multiplication. From one cell, there is a formation of number of cells. So mitotic division occurs, and this mitotic division, it leads to formation of nearly 12,000 cells. So this stage of multiplication, it is called as schizogony. It is called as schizogony. From single sporozoite, it leads to formation of 12,000 cells, and these cells, they burst the liver cell and they are coming outside or they are released outside, and these cells, they are called as cryptozoites. These are called as cryptozoites. Up to this it is clear. Once more, when a mosquito bites, mosquito, it releases nearly 2,000 sporozoites in our blood. As it is released in our blood, within half an hour, these sporozoites, they reach the liver. They infect the liver cell. It changes the structure. It becomes circular, which we are calling it as trophozoites. It absorbs the nutrient and increases in size. It is called as scission. It goes for multiplication. This stage it is called as schizogony. So during schizogony, how many cells are formed? 12,000 cells are formed, and the liver cell it bursts, and it is responsible for releasing the cells called as cryptozoites. When single sporozoite enters inside the liver, nearly 12,000 cryptozoites are formed. And this cycle, it is called as pre-erythrocytic cycle. What we are calling? It is called as pre-erythrocytic cycle. Now these cryptozoites, they may directly go and act on or infect the RBC, but to increase their concentration, to multiply more and more, these cryptozoites again they go and infect to the new liver cell. They go and infect to the new liver cell. Same procedure will occur. That means these cryptozoites, they go and infect to the new liver cell. They change the structure. Again there is a formation of trophozoites. Again it increases in size. It is responsible for forming the scission stage. Again it goes for multiplication, that is schizogony, and it is responsible for releasing. It is responsible for bursting the liver cell and releasing the cells. Now these cells we are calling it as metacryptozoites. What we are calling? We are calling it as metacryptozoites. Now these metacryptozoites, they are of two types. These metacryptozoites, they are of two types. See the structure. I have drawn here small structures and here somewhat large structures. That means these small structures, they are nothing but micro metacryptozoites. Small one they are called as micro metacryptozoites, and large one they are called as macro metacryptozoites. So this is micro metacryptozoites, macro metacryptozoites. Now why there is need to form two types of the metacryptozoites? Because microcryptozoites, their function is to infect the RBC. Macro metacryptozoites, their function is again they can go and infect the new liver cell and multiply, increase their population to act on RBC. Clear? So this first cycle it is called as pre-erythrocytic cycle, and this second cycle it is called as exoerythrocytic cycle. So here hepatic schizogony, it is divided into two, that is a pre-erythrocytic cycle, exoerythrocytic cycle. Both they are infecting the liver cell, but first cycle which occurs, it is called as a pre-erythrocytic cycle, and second new liver cell when it infects, it is called as exoerythrocytic cycle. Now come to the point, last point, that is here in the pre-erythrocytic cycle, whatever the newly formed cells are there, they are called as cryptozoites. In exoerythrocytic cycle, whatever the last stage cells they are formed, they are called as metacryptozoites, and these are divided into two, that is small one they are called micro metacryptozoites, large one they are called as macro metacryptozoites. Along with these, another name is there for these two. So these cryptozoites, they are also called as first stage. They are also called as first stage merozoites. They are called as first stage merozoites, and these are called as second stage merozoites. They are called as second stage merozoites. Now these, keep in mind, cryptozoites and micro metacryptozoites, they are ready to infect RBC. They are ready to infect RBC. Clear? Now in between one more point will come, and that point we will see later on. Now next cycle, that is life cycle of plasmodium in man, that is liver hepatic cystogony completed. Next it is nothing but RBC, that is erythrocytic cystogony. Erythrocytic cystogony. From liver, these cryptozoites and microcryptozoites, they enter into blood vessels and they are affecting the RBC. They are affecting the RBC. Now these cryptozoites or micrometacryptozoites, they attach to the RBC, they enter inside the RBC and they change their structure. Again here they become circular, and this stage it is called as trophozoite. It is called as trophozoite. Now this trophozoite, it develops vacuole. It develops vacuole. As the vacuole size increases, it is responsible for increasing size of RBC. Now, as vacuole increases, it looks like finger ring. It looks like finger ring. That's why it is called as signet stage. It is called as signet stage. What I told? Micrometacryptozoites and cryptozoites, they go into blood vessel, they attach to the RBC and they infect the RBC. Now, as they are entering inside the RBC, they change their structure. So this stage it is called as a trophozoite. It is called as trophozoite. Now this cell, it develops the vacuole. Vacuole size increases, and this structure, this RBC, it looks like finger ring. That's why this stage it is called as signet stage. It is called as signet stage. Now vacuole, it bursts. Vacuole, it breaks. As there is breakdown of vacuole, this plasmodium vivax, it becomes shapeless. It becomes shapeless. That means it develops the pseudopodia, and this stage it is called as amoeboid stage. It is called as amoeboid stage. Now this pseudopodia, with the help of the pseudopodia, it starts absorbing nutrients present in the RBC. Along with this, it is responsible for absorption of hemoglobin. It is responsible for absorption of hemoglobin. Now heme group, soluble heme group, it is converted into crystalline form, and this crystalline form it is released outside, and these are present like dots in RBC, and these dots they are called as Schuffner's dot. These are called as Schuffner's dots, and these Schuffner's dots they are called as the antigens released by Plasmodium vivax. Antigen released by Plasmodium vivax. What I told? Pseudopodia, that is in amoeboid stage there is development of pseudopodia. Plasmodium vivax, it absorbs the hemoglobin present in the RBC. Heme group, as it is soluble form, it is converted into crystalline form and it is released outside. These are present as dots in the RBC, and these dots they are called as Schuffner's dots, and these Schuffner's dots they are considered as the antigens of Plasmodium vivax. It increases in size by absorbing the nutrients, and later on it goes for multiplication. Later on it goes for multiplication. When it increases in size, we are calling it as Sysont stage. We are calling it as Sysont stage. It goes for multiplication. Nearly there is a formation of 12 to 24 new cells. There is formation of 12 to 24 new cells, and these cells, they are arranged similar to the petals of rose. That's why this is called as rosy stage. It is called as rosy stage. What happened? Here schizoid stage, when it occurs, it goes for multiplication, it goes for division. So from single cell there is a formation of 12 to 24 cells. 12 to 24 cells. And these cells, they are arranged like petals present in rose. That's why it is called as rosy stage. That means in this, new cells are formed and there is a presence of Kupfner's dot. And this Kupfner's dot, now it is acting as hemozoin. Already you are known about this hemozoin. This is the chemical released by RBC when there is bursting of RBC. Now this RBC, it breaks. RBC, it bursts. As there is bursting occurs, there is a release of cells, and these cells, they are called as merozoites. They are called as merozoites. So merozoites and hemozoin, it is released and it is responsible for giving rise to symptoms of malaria. So keep in mind, first stage merozoite, second stage merozoite, they act on RBC. And these are the merozoites. Again they are going and acting on new RBCs. Again they are going and infecting the new RBCs. So these merozoites, they are responsible for decreasing RBC concentration in our body. That's why there is occurrence of one of the symptoms called as anemia. One of the symptoms called anemia. Now this hepatic schizophrenia occurs, that is pre-erythrocytic, exoerythrocytic. Later on there is occurrence of erythrocytic schizophrenia, where there is bursting of RBC occurs and there is a release of merozoites. These merozoites, they continually act on new RBCs as the concentration of RBC decreases. As the concentration of RBC decreases, some of the merozoites, they enter into spleen. They enter into spleen or bone marrow, and in that place, whatever the RBCs are there, they enter into that RBCs and they are not developing the merozoites, but they start developing gametophyte. So two types of the gametophytes are there. One gametophyte, it is smaller in size, which we are calling it as male gametophyte, and one is larger in size, which we are calling it as female gametophyte. So this male gametophyte, it is also called as microgametophyte, and female gametophyte, it is called as macrogametophyte. Now these male and female macro and microgametophytes, they are present in our blood. They are present in our blood up to 1 week, and as mosquito bites, they are entering into the mosquito's body. Now these are unable to divide because of pH of our body and temperature of our body. They are unable to fuse with each other because these are the gametophytes, that is gamete producing cells. And these gametophytes, they remain in our blood for 1 week. If new mosquito bites, they are entering into their body or they are degraded, degenerated in our body. They are degenerated in our body. So this is the life cycle of Plasmodium in man. Now come to the next point, that is life cycle of Plasmodium in mosquito. In mosquito, it is responsible for completing sexual reproduction, and this cycle, it is called as a Ross cycle. It is called as Ross cycle. Now we are dividing this Ross cycle into 4 stages: gametogony, fertilization, formation of oocyte and oocyst, and sporogony. Now, as there is a formation of male and female gametophyte, as mosquito bites, it sucks our blood. When it sucks our blood, this male female gametophyte, along with the number of stages of this Plasmodium vivax, they enter into gut of the mosquito. Especially it enters into crop of mosquito. In crop, all stages of Plasmodium vivax, they are destroyed. All the stages, they are digested. But these two stages, they remain as it is. These two stages, they remain as it is. Now take the first gametogony, the process of formation of gametes. The process of formation of gametes. Now first, there is a formation of male gamete, then there is a formation of female gamete. Now what happens? Male gamete formation. So single cell is there, single cell. When it enters into crop of mosquito, first nuclear division occurs. First nuclear division occurs. So there is a formation of 8 nuclei. There is a formation of 8 nuclei. Now these 8 nuclei, they start moving towards periphery. They start moving towards periphery. As they start moving towards periphery, they gain the cytoplasm and there is a formation of flagella-like structure, and this type of development, it is called as a flagellated male gamete formation. It is called as flagellated male gamete formation. So male gamete formation, how it occurs? Micro gametophyte. It goes for mitotic division, that is nucleus divides. From single nucleus, 8 nucleus are formed. So these nucleus, they start moving towards periphery. Cytoplasm also it moves towards periphery. Like this, there is a formation of 8 flagellated male gametes. As these, they are moving towards periphery. There is a breakdown at the center and there is a formation of 8 male gametes. Exoflagellated, we are calling it as exoflagellated. Now this one, it is nothing but exoflagellated male gamete. Now how there is formation of female gamete? So here single cell is there. Single cell. Now this single cell, it develops pseudopodia and there is a formation of somewhat cone-shaped structure, and this nucleus, it comes in this point. So female gamete formation, it is very simple. Nucleus from the center, it moves towards one periphery. Membrane and cytoplasm, it moves upward, so there is a formation of cone-like structure. So this is the female gamete formation, and this whatever this cone-like structure it is formed, it is called as a fertilization cone. It is called as fertilization cone. So gametogony completed. Male gamete formation, female gamete formation. Next one, it is nothing but fertilization. Fertilization, the process of fusion of male and female gamete, which leads to formation of zygote. So here, male gamete, it comes and attaches to the female gamete. Male gamete, it comes and attaches to the female gamete at fertilization cone. Fusion of male and female gamete formation, there is a formation of single cell called as zygote. Single cell called as zygote. Now this zygote, it remains as it is for few hours. Later on, it goes for formation of oocyte. It goes for formation of oocyte. Now this zygote, it changes its structure. It becomes a long elongated structure and it is moving outside the crop wall. It moves outside the crop wall. That means it moves inside the crop wall and it comes out. And this is responsible for forming the oocyst. What happens? Zygote, it changes its structure it becomes elongated, it crosses the crop wall, it comes outside, it makes attachment to the basement membrane. It makes attachment to the basement membrane and it develops cyst wall. That's why it is called as oocyst. It is called as oocyst. What happens? After zygote formation, it crosses the crop wall, it comes outside and it makes attachment to the basement membrane and there is development of cyst wall. So this is called as oocyst. It is called as oocyst. It is called as ookinete. It is called as ookinete and it is nothing but the zygote. Clear? Now this oocyst, single cell is there, present attached to the basement membrane in hemocyst. It goes for meiosis. It goes for reductional division. As there is a reductional division occurs, number of small nuclei they are formed. And this, it leads to multiplication and there is a formation of small sporozoids inside this cyst. That's why it is called as sporocyst. It is called as sporocyst. When cyst, it makes attachment to the basement membrane, it goes for reductional division, meiosis, one reductional division occurs. Later on it goes for continuous mitotic division. There is a formation of thousands of nuclei. There is a formation of thousands of nuclei. Again they are covered with cytoplasm and there is a formation of number of cells and these cells, they are present inside the cell. That's why it is called as sporocyst. On the basement membrane, on the crop wall, nearly there is a formation of 50 to 500 oocysts and these are discovered by one of the scientists called as Ross. That's why this cycle it is called as Ross cycle. Now this sporocyst, that is the cyst wall breaks and these are the sporozoids which are released in the hemocyst and from hemocyst they enter into the saliva of the mosquito and when mosquito bites with saliva 2000 sporozoids they enter into new host. They enter into new host and they start for the asexual reproduction which is occurring in man. Now keep in mind these sporozoids in mosquito's body it is formed in 18 to 24 days. It forms in 18 to 24 days. So this is life cycle of Plasmodium vivax in mosquito. So in short, male and female gametes they are formed, zygote formed, ookinete it crosses the gut wall, it comes and attaches to the basement membrane, cyst wall formation that is oocyst, then it goes for reductional division, then it goes for mitosis, number of nuclei are formed, these are covered with cytoplasm which we are calling it as sporocyst, cyst wall breaks, sporozoids they are released into the hemocyst, through hemocyst they are entering into the salivary gland of mosquito and as mosquito bites with saliva it goes into the new human host. Okay, so this is about the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. Now, in human being, this pre-erythrocytic cycle, it is completed in 8 days. To complete this pre-erythrocytic cycle, how many days it requires? It requires 8 days. Now, exoerythrocytic cycle, it is completed only in 2 days. It is completed only in 2 days. Clear? Now, two more words are there. Now when this sporozoid, when it enters in our body, sporozoid, when it enters in our body, immediately it is not responsible for giving the symptoms. Immediately it is not responsible for giving the symptoms. So symptoms, they are appearing after 14 to 15 days. 14 to 15 days. So one, that is a pre-patent period. Pre-patent period. What is this pre-patent period? So first entry of sporozoid. First entry of sporozoid in blood. 2. Second entry of cryptozoids in blood. It is called as pre-patent period. That means when mosquito bites, sporozoids, they are entering in our blood, and from blood they are entering into liver, that is hepatic cell. When hepatic cells are broken, cryptozoids is released. How many days it is taking? It is taking nearly 8 days. So these 8 days period, it is called as pre-patent period. So pre-patent period means first entry of sporozoid in blood. 2. Second entry of cryptozoids in blood. It is called as a pre-patent period, and it lasts for, it goes for 8 days. And keep in mind, pre-patent period, it is not responsible for giving any type of the symptoms. It is not giving any type of the symptoms. Now second, incubation period. Second one, it is nothing but incubation period. Incubation period. Incubation period. It is nothing but first entry of sporozoid in blood. First entry of sporozoid in blood up to appearance of symptoms. Up to appearance of symptoms, it is called as incubation period. It is called as incubation period. That means pre-erythrocytic cycle to erythrocytic cycle, it is called as incubation period. So it takes nearly 14 days. When the symptoms are beginning, when we are getting the symptoms, so up to that it is called as incubation period. Okay, so every 48 hours or every 3 to 4 days, there is bursting of RBC, which is responsible for giving rise to the symptoms. That is cold stage, hot stage, and sweating stage. So this is the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax in mosquito as well as in man.